So let me just, okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, awesome. So this is actually just really funny because I was just on a call with Kelsey and Rebecca yesterday, and they were like, what the heck are you doing? And I really had to think, like, you know, what am I actually doing that's different or special from whatever everyone else is doing? And I mean, I did see maybe a few things that I'm doing that maybe other people aren't doing, but you know, all in all, I think, you know, I'm doing the same things that everyone else is. So, yeah, so right now I have, in my account, I'm at Success Club 38. And then in my sister's account, I'm in Success Club 10. And it's actually really funny because at the beginning of this month, I was freaking out because I didn't it was the first 4 days and I hadn't helped anyone. And I was like getting that anxiety of like, oh my God, crap. Like, you know, like I have these big goals for this month. And honestly, Success Club wasn't number one on my priority list. My number one on my priority list was stabilizing Diamond. And with that, you know, I really focused the first, probably the first week or so, or 2 weeks in building up my sister's account in Diamond. So that's the account that I really focused on first. And I got that to Success Club 10. And then I was like, okay, it's time to roll with my account. You know, it's time to really, to build that up. So I was like trying to think like, okay, like what am I doing? And I noticed that a lot of the people that I've helped this month, specifically in April, I've been helping a lot of people with 80-day obsession. And that's kind of like the one thing that I think has been so huge for my business. And I even remember sitting on one of these calls, Christina Delgado was talking about 80-day obsession and how huge this is to go into a program and completely put your heart and soul into this program. So for the whole 80 days or 93, 97 days, whatever it was, like being 100% on your nutrition, being 100% on the workouts, never missing a workout. And I like really took that to heart because she said, you know, if you do this and if you go all in, like your business is going to skyrocket. So I really took that to heart. So ever since January 15th, you know, my birthday was on the 17th, had no cheats and really just like went at it. And that whole thing, I mean, going full force at it and sharing that every single day and every step of the way. So sharing that on your Instagram stories every single day, you know, from the moment you wake up, from the moment you go to bed, you know, every single morning at 3 a.m. when I'm making my shake, you know, I post that every single day. And I think having that consistency really shows your followers like, okay, you are being consistent and they see what you're doing every single day. Also, you know, I'm consistently posting on Instagram between 2 and 3 times a day, you know, sharing the journey, sharing what I'm eating, sharing the workouts. You know, like I think sometimes we think like, oh, we don't want to annoy people or, you know, or that's too much, but like, no, it's not. Like you are sharing your journey. Like this is your job to show people what you're doing and to share that unapologetically. Like that is huge. So never think that at all. And that just goes to with showing like you are being proof that the products work. So going in 100% and, you know, every Sunday posting your week transformation pics, like that was huge. Like that gained like a lot of traction. And, you know, non-scale victories. And like I said, the Instagram stories were so huge for that. But, you know, with that being said, I wasn't waking up every single day or every single morning. And I had tons of messages in my inbox saying, oh my God, I want to do that. You know, like it took people a lot of time to see what I was doing and to see the progress that was being made. So with that being said, another thing I think is not getting upset when you see no's. So not getting upset and not slowing down when you hear a no. I posted in our team page probably like last week or 2 weeks ago that, you know, like I go to bed early. So a lot of the times I'm waking up and I have like an inbox full of messages either on Instagram or Facebook. And I think the one morning I went on Instagram and it was like 15 no's, like all in a row. And, you know, like I think whenever I first started, I would have literally taken that to heart and taken that and like gotten really discouraged, like, oh my God, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, just getting really upset. But like, I've totally learned, first of all, personal development helps with that a ton. So if that's something that you're not doing every single day, you need to do that every single day, whether it's a podcast, whether it's reading, if you don't have time to read, like make that part of your routine. So, you have to fight through those no's. And I didn't look at all of those 15 no's in my inbox and say to myself, okay, well, oh, well, first of all, like ask them why, like ask them, okay, well, why no? Why is it, what are your reservations? Why are you skeptical about this? And talk to them about it. Don't just like toss those people off to the side. Like, okay, they're not interested. Like genuinely learn about like why not now, or what's the problem, or not problem, but like what's holding them back, because probably these are things that were holding you back, and you can string those into like what you're talking about. So when you're having these conversations with these people, say like, yeah, like I totally get it. Cost is a big thing for me too. I'm making like, $25,000 a year. Like this is something like I didn't think I could afford, but it was something that I knew I needed because I knew I needed to make a change. So not only like stringing these in your conversations that you're having with people, but put these in your social media messages, in your social media posts. Like some days, besides sharing the journey, I struggle with coming up with content, but like anytime I have a conversation with someone and they're posting like, or they, I had a conversation earlier about, how they think that they can do it by themselves or they don't need support. Well, I'm talking to my social media accounts how the reason I joined Beachbody was because, I moved a year ago and I lived by myself and I needed accountability and I needed that support. So not only, just throwing these messages in your inbox, but like really like going out of your way and putting these in your social media posts. And I think too, when you do hit Success Club, like one thing this month, like I haven't done was, you never take your foot off the gas. Like if you hit Success Club, great, keep going. Like do not stop. Don't think, okay, I'm good for this month. Let me, I'll start working again for next month. Like that's something that I have like I treat the end of the month when I'm already at a high number or whatever it is, just like the beginning of the month, like I don't change a thing. And I think that's huge. Like you don't want to take your foot off the gas. You want to keep going. So committing to a program has been huge for me, not taking no's for answers, or not at least giving up those no's so easily. And another thing too, I think consistency in a routine is so big. And, I get it. Everyone has different schedules and everyone's busy in their own ways, but you have to find a routine that works for you. So, it doesn't matter what it is, but you have to like really comb out that time for your business. I know, and I get it. Like not everyone can sit down and have one uninterrupted hour to do your power hour. But like, what can you do differently in your routine to make that part of your day? So for example, for me, like I don't work until 4:00, but I go into work like 30 minutes early so I can like go through my inbox and clear it. Or some days I'll go in and I'll like start my power hour right away. So then at least I know I have 30 minutes of that work done. So I think it's really just finding that time for you, and however it is in your business, whether, you work better in the afternoon or whether you have, more free time, in the mornings, it's just really finding that time for you. And, so I kind of wrote down everyone's name that I helped this month because too, I was just genuinely curious as to like, okay, like how did I get all these people? Like, are these people that are like in my warm market, are these people who, have just reached out to me? So I was kind of looking through, and like 14 of those people, these are people that I've followed up with. So these are people that I've invited probably like 2 to 3 times or even 4 times before, who've said, no, they're not ready. But like, this has been huge. 14 people. Like, can you imagine if your coach didn't follow up with you? Like, 14 people just because I popped in their inbox again after they said no the first few times. Like, hey, listen. And like, I think it's too just like being like a genuine believer of like whatever program. So like 80 Day Obsession has been so huge for me that I decided to start it over again. So I'm on day 3. And like just being excited, like, oh my gosh, listen, like this program is going to change your life. So I think that's been huge too. And looking at like my warm market, 12 people are people that I've never met before or people that I've met on Instagram or Facebook. And that's huge too, because I think with your power hour, I think, okay, well, I don't have time to get to this, this, and this in my power hour. But like really all of that is so important. It's just that section of like non-Beachbody conversations is huge, because I think like if I didn't reach out to like some people on there, like these are people that I've never met before. If I didn't reach out to them, like I wouldn't be helping them. And I'm not reaching out to them and I'm not like, oh my gosh, like join me, you know what I mean? Like I'm just genuinely reaching out to them and having conversations. For example, and you know, these are just finding people that have common interests with you and just starting conversations because you want to learn more about them. So I've added like a number of people that are reporters or that are anchors or that work that early morning shift. In fact, 2 of my current 80-day challengers, they're girls that I met on Instagram by following the hashtag like AM Newser or Reporter Life or Party Like a Journalist, whatever the hashtag is. You know, you're finding your people that way. And I'm not going right at them saying, oh my gosh, join me. But like, I'm literally saying like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, you work the same shift. Like, how do you go to bed early? Or, you know, what stories are you covering? Whatever it is, like finding that common ground. And then now that you're making that connection, they're watching your Instagram stories. They're seeing your posts pop up in their timeline and they're curious. Like these are people that I have that I didn't even reach out to about this. They were like, oh my God, what's that 80-day thing you're doing? Like that looks like a lot of fun. It looks like you have fun working out. Like I want to do that. So I think that's like really big too. So not like if you can't do all of your power hour in one time, don't leave a section out. Like make time in your day to finish the entire thing, because to think like if I skip the non-Beachbody conversations in the power hour, I wouldn't have like 10 people, or I wouldn't have been able to help 10 people. So I think that's been really big too. So I think a lot of the girls that are going to be talking are going to kind of give you guys like a call to action to do. So I think like the biggest thing for me is like stabilizing a routine and committing to a routine every single day. That's been huge for me since the start, you know, getting that power hour in every single day, no matter what. So, you know, I just challenge you guys to find that routine, and however it works in with your day, just make it happen. I know being consistent has been just absolutely huge for me. So, sorry, I know I just blabbed for like so long.
You're good. Those were really good tips. Thanks, girl. Mac, did you want to go next?
Yeah, I can go next. That was so good. That's hard to follow. She's a vamp. And seriously, you guys, great tips. And I'm going to piggyback a little bit about what she said about treating this like a job. This was kind of this is what changed my thought process, my business, basically. I used to struggle to hit Success Club 10, past Success Club 10. You can ask Natalie how many times she would like shake me and be like, hello. So it is so much mental. And I think we forget that sometimes. We look at our power hour and we're like, okay, check off. And we forget that the mindset behind that is very, very important. So I want you guys to kind of like take yourself out of this Beachbody world for a second and picture yourself in your current jobs. Okay, I'm going to picture myself as a bartender. And maybe you're a teacher, maybe you're a nurse, but I want you to think about like if you walk into that job and you know, maybe your peer or your manager or your boss or your mentor says, hey, this is what you need to do to be successful here. This is what we're about. And this is what's going to help you make a difference. So this is what's going to help you build something here at this establishment or whatever. So if my boss was like, hey, I need you to sell 5 cheesesteak and beer specials tonight to blah, 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 I'd be like, okay, like that's totally doable. And every single person that walked into that establishment and sat down, I would have absolutely no problem asking them that. Right? Like if you went to your school right now, if you're a teacher and your principal was like, hey, I need you to help 10 kids in your classroom do this on a test, you'd be like, got it, no problem. I'm going to totally make that happen. If you're a nurse, maybe you go into the hospital and you're, I don't know what the person above nurses is, but they're like, hey, we need 5 people to get out of their beds today and exercise and take a lap around this floor. And you would probably not even for a second be like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get them to do that? Like, how am I going to get them to buy this cheesesteak and beer combo? Like, it would just be, no doubt, I'm asking every single person that walks in. Like, do you guys kind of see where I'm going with this? If you just look at this like a job, it does not have to have a negative connotation behind it. Do I think about my bartending shifts negatively now? Absolutely. I didn't enjoy that job anymore. But I cannot think of a better job to have than asking people if they want to join us, whether coaching, a challenge pack, our fitness and accountability groups, this community. Like, I cannot think of a better opportunity than to serve people with what we're doing. And so often, because it's so great, we're like, oh, it's not a job, because it's fun, right? And it's awesome and it's purposeful and it brings passion and like love and community and all these amazing things. So we kind of sometimes are like, but this is the bread and butter. There's a reason Success Club is part of the requirements. Would you be sitting here if somebody wasn't pushing for Success Club? Like, do you ever think about that? It's not a bad goal to want to help 50 people in a month, or 10 people in a month, or 5 people in a month, or 3 people in a month, because you never know like who one of those people are. You never know what they could truly need. Because I look back to purchasing a challenge pack with Natalie and I'm like, oh my God, I was so afraid. I had no money. She was basically like pulling my arm. No offense, Nat. We're best friends, so she could do that. But like, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that Success Club was important to her, because like she wanted to sell me a full on challenge pack because that's what I needed. And from there, like my life has been forever changed. So, you know, maybe not every challenge pack's going to turn into that, but it gives them a freaking great starting point and opportunity. And that's my second point. Is it's really not about the points, you guys. Like, you can't look at people as numbers, but you also can't be afraid to push a little bit, kind of like Lauren said. Like, I hate when people are like, I don't want to push. I'm afraid to ask them that question. And I'm like, if somebody sat down at my bar and they're like, I don't want a cheesesteak and beer combo, I'd be like, then why are you sitting here, right? If I'm talking to somebody, I'm going to say, why are you afraid? What's holding you back? Did I not explain something right? And you know what? That's my favorite question, because a lot of times they just didn't understand something. Or maybe they're just shocked that it actually is $160 and they just really want to know what's the fine print. So don't be afraid to like dig a little bit deeper, because you're not pushing someone, you're leading someone to what they truly need. They're just afraid of, they're afraid to get there themselves. Okay, so stop looking at this business as a, like that thing you're kind of just like, I'm unsure of. Treat it like a job and be proud that this is your job. Like, be proud that you get to invite people to what you get to invite them to. Because even if you like are doing the actions and somewhere in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, I don't know, like, if I should be doing this, I don't really know if I can do this. I don't really believe in this. They're probably not going to join me anyway. They're probably going to think this is too expensive. The energy is going to totally transfer into that other person. So just remember that this is not about selling them on something. This is about transferring your belief into them. And that Lauren made a great point about being on a program being obsessed with Shakeology and these programs, because I will agree, 80-Day Obsession changed my business, because it was not hard for me to just like gush about the greatness in messages. And it wasn't fake, and it wasn't hard to do that. And it wasn't hard for Natalie to be like, you have to do this, because I saw it in her eyes, you guys. Like, I saw it in her eyes that this was changing her life. And I wanted that for me too, even though it was such a huge risk. I was so afraid. But she pushed me. And look where we're all sitting now, because somebody cared enough to ask more questions, to post more, and to ask again. So that's my second point that I'll leave you with. So somebody just asked me this the other night on the live power hour. What do you do when someone doesn't respond? Or what do you do if they say no, right? Like, how do you go back to that? And something that I started doing is not writing people off if they didn't respond. And maybe you're not either, but I think people appreciate you asking them consistently, right? Like, if you're setting a date for a group every month and you have that window where you're inviting, we're always technically inviting, but I mean, like, right now, you guys, we're inviting, okay? We're not inviting to free groups. If you're trying to hit Success Club, you're trying to invite people to order a challenge pack and get in your group and get started. So they appreciate the fact that you're asking them again, because the opportunity has come up again. I've asked people like 4 or 5 times without them responding. And you might think that looks crazy. I think that looks consistent. I think consistently every single month I thought of that person. Not on a month when it was convenient for me, but every single month. And people appreciate the fact that you're not taking them, ignoring you personally. You're being professional about it, and you're not taking the fact that they didn't respond to your message personally. So I guess like my last thing, my call to action is, I've been in these crunch time situations, and I'm going to talk to you guys as if like you're going to get off this call tonight and reach your goals. And I know we're all going to continue to do that, but don't count out the people that like are probably sitting next to you, right? Like, how often do we forget to just talk to somebody in conversation, like at our jobs, or friends that we know from high school, or like cousins, or like our boyfriend's friends, or, like family friends. Like, don't ever feel like there's no one out there that you can left to talk to, because pick up your eyes, look up, and be in the world, and start to think about the people that you want to make an impact, like the lives that you want to touch. So yeah, get off here and make a list of 10 to 20 people. I guarantee you could probably make a list of 30 people, and who and you just maybe haven't talked to in a while, or you have and you want to reconnect, and ask them to be accountable with you next month. You don't have to like ask them some scary question about mentoring them. Just say, hey, I want to know if you wanted to stay accountable with me. This is changing my life. That is literally how I word invites. It's very, very simple. So that's it. That's all.
Rushed it.
Y'all.
All right. Who do we have? Steph. Where's she at? Is she on here?
I'm here.
All right. Take it away, girl.
There's so many boxes. I know. It's so exciting. Okay. So when Natalie reached out to us and asked us to speak on this call, it was really funny because I honestly sat back and I was like, they might be slightly disappointed in this, because I think that it's apparent with both Mackenzie and Lauren talking, but I'm just going to actually phrase it for you. There is no magical formula for hitting Success Club. Okay. I know a lot of people might have like hopped on this call and like hopes that we would tell you like that if you were to go invite like X amount of people, then like a certain amount would say yes. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And it's pretty safe to say that this comes from hard work and consistency every single day. And that's the difference between like hitting Success Club and not hitting Success Club, is it's the consistency every single day, even on those days when you don't want to show up. And I'll tell you guys right now, a ton of us were sitting in Mexico, and we didn't just completely ignore everyone the entire time that we were there. It was glorious that our businesses were building without us doing a ton, but we were still checking in with our customers and our challengers and still having conversations with people and helping people finish their applications. We just weren't as into it because we built ourselves into going on that vacation and stayed so consistent that we were able to do that. So I just want to put that out there that, like, if you don't want to work hard, then maybe this isn't the thing for you, unfortunately, but like you have to try. And so the one big thing that I've really noticed recently is you have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. And Mac and Lauren touched on this, but the one thing that I've noticed recently is, and I'm sure everyone can relate, do you have like a list of people, or do you like see someone on Facebook or Instagram and like you want to invite them, but you're like super nervous to invite them? Like they even might be liking your post, but you're like, oh my God, maybe they'll remember like that one time that maybe I didn't like talk to them, or like maybe they'll remember in high school when like I wasn't really like nice to them or friends with them. Like it happens to everyone. And I will not lie, I had this gigantic like scary list of like I considered them like my no touch people. Like I wouldn't invite them. I would maybe have conversations with them and like see how they're doing, but I wouldn't actually physically send that invite because honestly it scared the shit out of me and I wasn't sure what they were going to say and I didn't want to know. I can sit here and say that probably four of the people on that list are four of the people that I signed up this month, because I finally, a couple of months ago, decided to get my head out of my ass and just invite everyone, because why not? I mean, Mackenzie said it best, like if someone's going to walk into a bar and sit at her counter, like why aren't you going to order it? If someone's going to like your post and follow you on Facebook and Instagram, why aren't you going to invite them? You have nothing to lose when you invite them. And if they like unfollow you or tell you to like fuck off, then honestly, who cares? There are so many people in this world that need to know what we're doing that like, and I won't lie, I have had people tell me off. I had someone tell me off in Mexico and I was like, I'm sitting here in Mexico on a free trip that I earned because I helped at least 3 people a month and I have a Corona in my hand. So does that bother me that much? Not really. So that's the thing though. It's like, I wasn't always like, oh my God, like I freaked out. I would go into like dates where I thought I was going to cry because people were telling me off. But I just realized that like there was so much more than letting that get me down, and it wasn't worth it. And so I took, like Kelsey said in the comments, I took that chicken shit list and I started inviting all of them because I had nothing to lose and I had everything to gain. And then Mac touched on this a bit, which I absolutely loved, but like never stop following up with people. I mean, like never stop following up with people. I have people that if you look at our messages, it is literally just me for an entire year. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, they decide to answer one of my messages and they're like, oh my God, thank you so much for like continuing to reach out to me. Like now I'm ready. Like literally just ghosting me for a year. 2 of the last people I've signed up, I've talked to for 8 months. I have invited them every single month for 8 months. And they have told me, I don't have the money. I'm not ready. Oh, I'm moving. Oh, my dog is sick. Oh, my kid is home. Like every excuse in the world. And I just kept following up. I'm sure that the majority of you do this, have a list of no's. I also have a list of no responses. And I keep both lists so that I consider those no responses just no's at the time. And I will continue to follow up with them until, again, they tell me to either F off or they unfollow me. Because, again, what do we have to lose from that? We don't have anything to lose. And the one, I wouldn't even say secret, but the one thing that I started doing is if I invite them on Facebook, but they're following me on Instagram, I'm going to invite them on Instagram next, because I will hunt you down on any form of social media if necessary. And I'm not afraid to, because if I am friends with them on both social media platforms, then it's okay to reach out on both social media platforms. So I do. Like, and sometimes I will even be like, hey, maybe you didn't see our Facebook conversation, so I just wanted to check in on Instagram. Or like, hey, maybe you didn't see my Instagram. Like, I know sometimes it ends up like in a junk folder, so I just wanted to like check over on here. Like, it's okay. Like, just do it. Do whatever you have to do. And going along with like never stopping follow up, like with your excuses, obviously you'll get people that are like, I don't like shakes. I can't drink them. They taste funny, blah, blah, blah. Anything like that. In case you guys didn't know, there's Shakeology, Daily Sunshine, the Performance Line, and Beach Bars. You can no longer accept an excuse that someone does not like to drink a shake because you now can sell them Beach Bars. And that is like the one thing that I will say has made a huge difference in the last couple of months. I don't think that she is on the call right now. I'm trying to go through it really quickly. But my coach, Deborah, cannot drink, like physically cannot drink Shakeology or the Performance Line because she has like a huge intolerance to caffeine. We even tried it for her and she like literally could not sleep for days and like got severe stomach aches. But she has always wanted to be a coach and has always wanted to be a part of Beachbody. So you better believe when those Beach Bars came out, she was one of the first people I reached out to, and now she's a coach on our team. And so I don't settle. If someone tells me they don't like to drink a morning shake, then I will go to the Performance Line. And if they tell me that they can't drink anything in general, I'll go to the Beach Bars. And that has worked really well because at the end of that, you're getting to the bottom of it. And it's at the end of the day, they're totally not ready and they like can't even fathom everything that's happening. And so you just need to come back to them. But if you at least try to go through all of those, then at the end of the day, you can say you did your job and you reached out in the best way you can. So honestly, don't settle with their excuses and just keep moving on to something else and you'll find what works for them. The other thing that I have found super helpful is you have to personally know your own business. So you like have to personally be tracking it. And I don't believe that there's any like magical way to track your business. Some people are really good with pen and paper. Some people are really good doing it online. I do like a combination of both. But if you find a way to track your business, then you essentially know how many conversations and invites you need to have with people in order to hit Success Club. Right now, I'm at the stage where like I need about 100 invites to lock in Success Club. And so I know if I'm trying to hit Success Club in 5 days, then in 5 days, I have to send 100. Keeping track of how many no's I'm getting, how many invites I'm sending, and how many yeses I'm getting. And I use Teamsy for that, if that helps anyone. And it will actually tell you like right there, like how many connections you've had to how many sales you've had. But even without using that, I can take a pretty good glimpse at my pen and paper or what's online and know what I'm doing. And so I highly suggest that if you haven't started doing it, kind of just like do an overview of how many invites you've sent and where you're hitting at Success Club. So if you're not at Success Club and you've maybe only sent 50 invites, well, between now and the end of the month, you need to send 150. So you basically just need to double or triple or whatever your numbers to make sure that you can lock it in. Because again, this all goes back to if you're actually doing the work, I promise you Success Club will actually happen. Okay. And so my last thing is personalize your messages. So I will be the first to say I was a copy and paste for like as long as could be, because I found that not easy in the sense of like it's what got me people. It was easy in the sense it took up the least amount of my time, and I would just copy like this invitation and send it over to this person. And while I was still hitting Success Club with that, the second I started to personalize my messages is when everything changed. And I'm not just saying like use their name, because honestly, most of the time I don't even use their name, but it's like tying back into a previous conversation or tying back into something you've seen of theirs. So like if I've had a conversation with someone and like the month before was just like a real struggle for them, they're in the middle of moving, they just like literally are pressed for time, you can't do it, then tie that into your conversation. But Mac, I'm the same way. Like I'm a hey babe person, but it's like, hey babe, I know last month when we had this conversation, you were right in the middle of moving, so this wasn't the best time for you. But like, just wanted to let you know I'm launching my next group next week. Do you think you'd want to join me this time? And it's like as simple as that. And like, typically when that happens, they're like, oh my God, like they realize that you're a human being and you actually paid attention to that previous conversation that you had with them. And all of a sudden they think that they're talking to someone that actually genuinely wants to help them and doesn't just want to make money off of them. And trust me, it makes a huge difference at the end of the day. So real quick, just to wrap it up, step outside of your comfort zone. Invite those people that are like terrifying to you. Never stop following up. Honestly, even if you have conversations with yourself for years, these people, when they finally like decide to make that life-changing decision, one, they'll come to you because you've been the one that's been reaching out to them. But two, they will also be so excited that you have been trying to consistently help them and didn't give up on them. Know your business. So the way you track it is totally up to you, but like figure out what you need to do in order to hit Success Club. So just take like a quick analysis of your business and personalize your messages. And so Mackenzie gave you homework to go and find 10 to 20 people that you know tonight. But considering the fact that I can guarantee every single one of you has a list of people that you are absolutely terrified to invite, trust me, mine's right next to me, and I'm going to do it after this call. Add 5 more people to your list, but make it 5 people that you've been staring at that you are afraid to invite. And tonight, you're finally going to press send on it. And like this team has said in the past, hashtag don't be a bitch, press send.
Good job, Steph. Mic drop. But all right, guys, I really didn't want to waste any extra time. I really just wanted to give you guys 5 actionable items, 5 steps to literally get off the call tonight and do. So I can get off track because I have a mom brain. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I made a cute little PDF right before the call so that you guys could actually use this afterwards. Can everybody see it? Nat, can you unmute yourself and say yes? Because I can't ever see anybody.
Yep, you're good.
Yep. All right. So how to hit Success Club in 5 days. All right. So set the goal. First, you guys, if you're sitting at, let's say, Success Club 0, you know now that you need to at least help 3 people. If your goal is 10, you know that you need to help 5 people. So you simply don't stop until you achieve that goal. You need to believe in yourself and the power of your voice, which I believe that you've been hearing from all the other coaches. Magic happens in the inbox, which means that, guys, I would much rather prefer maybe 1 to 2 posts on social media. If you don't have the time to do that extra 3rd post, and you get your booty in the inbox, because this is simply a relationship building business and people are not going to come flocking to you. You need to go to them. I don't care how much you post or how amazing your content is. It's really where the connection happened, is behind the scenes. Focus and don't waste time on the fluff, and be real and be you. All right, so guys, here's one. Know your goals. The first thing that you should be doing is doing your workout daily and drinking your shake. You guys are all here because you simply believe in what we have to offer. That means that you need to be doing it. You need to be reading personal development, because this helps you with the next one. Not only your mindset, but guys, it's like whenever you say that you don't know what to post, posting on social media, you know, personal development clearly helps that. But whenever you're posting on social media, it really creates a full circle moment. Share your workout and what you're doing, and it makes the inbox, whenever you do talk to people, that much easier. So commit to sharing your workout journey for the next 5 days nonstop. And the first thing that I want you to do is make a post tonight about your up and coming challenge group. Now, if you're like, Jess, I'm brand new, I have no clue how to make that type of post, I went ahead and I created just a cute little sample for you guys. Once again, you've heard this time and time again, be true to your voice. How you talk to somebody is literally how you should write your post. You don't ever want to seem like you're scripted, or I don't know, that you're just not you. People really, when they read your post, they want to feel like, okay, I could hear Jess actually saying that, or I could actually hear Kelsey saying that out of her mouth. So whenever you make your challenge group post tonight, I want you guys to make it meaningful. Like, none of these posts, it's just like, yay, I'm doing 80-day obsession and here are my results. Guys, you just gave people a reason to go use Google and buy off of Amazon exactly what you got. Well, they can't do it off of Amazon because they need the bot, but they simply no longer need you if you tell them exactly what you're doing. So here's a post. You guys can look at it after the call. I'll go ahead and give this to you guys. But a way to actually invite publicly is, you know, at the very end of your meaningful post, if you talk about your transformation or even what journey, where you're at in your particular journey, at the very end of the post, you could just say something like, hey, my next group starts on X date. I have 3 spots left. Send me a DM or drop your favorite food emoji below if you want the deets. Like, I'm not the type of someone that would say, I'll give you the details. I'm very, once again, true to my words. And make sure that you also have the date set, guys. That is so crucial, even behind the scenes, because now you know what you're actually inviting somebody to. And it gets your button gear. All right, action 3, engage with people on your post and always take the conversation to the inbox. Always. I think I made that pretty clear earlier. Everybody that likes and comments on your post, thank them for the love and support. Ask if they are working on any goals. Guys, that's a simple inbox message that you could send to everybody tonight after you get your post up. Let your customers hear your excitement. Once again, guys, like, I still to this day, 4 years later, I am still all about the woot woots, the hollers, the fun emojis. And I mean, I just really let people see how excited I personally am for them. And I always hold the power of the conversation. Now, an example of this is I never say, let me know if you're interested. I always just simply assume they are, because who wouldn't want what we have to offer? And I keep the ball in my court. Each conversation that I have, I always try to end it with a question just to keep the conversation rolling. So yeah, so that's action step 3. 4, you guys already heard this. As soon as we get off the phone tonight, or our Zoom chat, once you get your post up, because you need to let people in on what you're doing and what you have to offer, I want you to make a list of people, of 100 people that you already know that trust you. I don't want you to overthink this. Now, this just needs to be on top of the people that already like and commented maybe on your post too. So yeah, do you think you guys can go ahead and make a list of 100 people? Let me see some thumbs up. Or do you guys think that 100 people is a little bit much? Because I'm here to tell you right now, guys, we all know at least 100 people, you know, within our families or friends or people that we work with that we could truly invite to this opportunity. Now, if this is people that you already know, this is where I noticed even a lot of my coaches, they just really get, you know, worried on inviting them. And that's where it's like, guys, if it's your friends and family, like my mom was my very first challenger. And I was like, hey, listen, we're doing this. But an easy way to go about that is, and I think it was even Stephanie that gave a good example, or maybe it was Lauren, just tell them that you're on a journey and you want them to join you, that you would love for them to be your accountability partner to feel amazing by summertime. I mean, how simple is that? So there's that one. Action 4. And vets. Guys, we already covered this too. You should have a list of running people that you're following up with that might have given you objections in the past, whether it be money, they're moving, whatever the case may be. 90% of your people will come from the follow-ups. And I even gave you an example of what you could say. And they touched on this too. You need to make it personal. So it could be something like, hey, pretty mama, my next group is getting ready to start on May 7th. I wanted to make sure I wasn't leaving you out. I know that you said that you had 30 pounds to lose by your friend's wedding. And girl, I want to help. I have 3 spots left in my group and I want you to be one of them. Should I save you a spot? Super simple. Don't overcomplicate the step. And once again, guys, I have to reiterate, be true to your voice and never be a robot when you're behind the screen. Action step number 5. Guys, your goal is to literally hit Success Club in 5 days. And what I've noticed a lot of coaches, and even myself, I'm extremely guilty for this, but I learned to reel it back in really quick. Don't waste the time on the fluff. Hitting Success Club and getting people in your challenge group to get results needs to be your number one. Doing your business activity tracker needs to be number one. Building your like page, building a website, adopting a brand new social media, building a blog, inviting to your next free group. Guys, this comes after you hit your goal. Yes, you grow, but no, your business comes down to this. It's a relationship building business. The other stuff, I'm just going to say it, like, it really is the fluff. And I've noticed even with me trying to build my other pages and whatnot, I always have to go back and remind myself why I'm here and why I'm doing this. And it's all about for the people, guys. Let me stop my screen share. So, any questions on that? We got it? Yep. All right. So guys, that was mine. I really wanted to make it quick and sweet and, you know, just 5 steps that you guys could go and take with you to do tonight, because I know all you guys are going to be hitting Success Club. And Kelsey, I know you're going to take us home, baby.
They always make me go last because I'm the one that's like, I start sweating usually when I start talking. Before I start, I want to shout out Kylie Baker, who literally just hits Emerald and Success Club while we were on this call. So congratulations, Kylie. I'm super proud of you. Okay, really quickly, I'm just going to go over 3 things with you guys. For those of you that are brand new coaches, I apologize for I'm not going to apologize for my personality. I'm a very straightforward type of person, and I kind of just say it how it is. And I believe that the coaches, I'm going to be talking to you guys about 3 things. I'm going to make it nice and quick because 9 o'clock's our cutoff. I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to talk to you about the popsicle lady. I'm going to talk to you about the coach that recently quit, and I'm going to talk to you about new coach syndrome. And I'm going to make it really, really fast. And I'm also just realizing on top of my head, I'm also going to talk about veteran coach syndrome. And I'm going to go through these really quickly and tell you why each of these pertain to you hitting Success Club. Because I think you got some awesome actionables tonight. I don't think that I need to retouch on anything they said, because honestly, everything that they did say tonight, all 4 of them, I back them up 110%. I do everything that they say that they're doing. I am proof the products work. I don't take no for an answer. I never take my foot off the gas. I loved who said, I think it was Lauren, how she said, I treat the beginning of the month the same way that I treat the end of the month. I do that too. I am very consistent. I am in a routine. I do follow up with people. I loved when Mackenzie said, would you be sitting here if somebody else wasn't pushing for Success Club? Because it's the truth that every single one of us are 2 Success Club points. If you really think about it, I was 2 Success Club points to somebody, and I am somebody's, and I have created this team that I'm literally looking at on a screen right now, which is crazy. Because if I wasn't pushing for Success Club, I never would have found you guys. All of that stuff that they said, I am backing up. So I'm going to go through these 4 things that I want to talk to you guys about really quickly. And I want to make sure that you guys are understanding this very clear. Success Club is possible. And the coaches that are not hitting Success Club, it's honestly mind-boggling to me. And it's because of these 4 things that I'm going to talk to you about right now. First thing, I'm going to talk to you about the coach on my team that recently quit. Somebody said something in my team page a couple days ago that really took me aback, and it really, really upset me. And she's no longer on our team because it was not a good falling out because of it. She posted in our team page, and without going into names and not going into details, she said she didn't believe on Recognition Day, which is my favorite day of the week, that all these people shouldn't have been getting recognition because they got lucky. And nothing infuriated me more than somebody saying that these coaches that were getting recognized for their rank advancement achievements, that were at the top of the Success Club board, were lucky. Nobody, my friends, in this business is lucky. That was a slap in the face to me, and that's a slap in the face to every single human being on our team who was hustling like crazy to make stuff happen this month. If every single one of you understand, I need you guys to understand this. I am no different than you. Lauren, who is sitting at Success Club 50, as you just heard her humbly talk to you, is doing nothing that's insane. She's not getting lucky. She's doing the work. And so when I saw that in our team page, I know that a lot of you guys are like laughing because you know exactly what I'm talking about, because it really infuriated me. I was not going to let that stand in our team, because I want you guys to understand that what you do every single day is going to be the end result of what happens in your business. And hell yeah, guys, for some people, it takes a lot longer than others. And we've had that discussion before. My coach, when she came into this business, skyrocketed to diamond in 3 months. It took me 6-7 months to do it. None of us are on this same path right now. We are all on this very different path. But I'll tell you one thing's for damn sure. No one is lucky. The coaches that hit Success Club are working very, very hard, okay? And it's not hard to hit Success Club if you're doing all the things the girl said. But I do want to make that clear in case anybody else was feeling that way, that people like Lauren is just sitting back on her couch with her feet up and people are messaging her left and right. That's not how this works. That's not how it works for me. I sat on my butt today, guys, and I invited over 100 people to the 2B Mindset informational group. I personally sat down and invited that. I don't have people walking into my inbox saying, hi, sign me up. It doesn't happen for me. What happens is I'm doing my thing every single day, and it's consistency. That's the first thing that I wanted to address tonight, is that this is not luck, it is work. Number 2 is new coach syndrome. And new coach syndrome is something that every single new coach suffers of. They think that could never happen for me, or it's not happening fast enough, or this isn't happening the way that I want it to, okay? And I want to address this really quickly because I know that a lot of coaches, I want you guys to all understand that I feel you all. I know what it feels like to be right on the cusp of something and know what you're a part of, and it's not happening as fast as you want it to happen. So I want you to keep this in your minds tonight. You are doing great, okay? If you are a new coach and you are actually doing what we tell you to do, you are doing great. And it might not be happening as fast as you want it to, but for new coaches, guys, you have this golden egg opportunity to literally just kind of go out and start picking people and have fun with this and just do your thing and introduce it to every single person, because people are kind of just like, what the hell crack is she smoking right now? Because I don't even know what she's doing. And they're watching you and they don't understand what you're doing yet. So they have to understand that, guys, that might not be happening as fast for you right now because they're still watching you. They need to trust you. They need to make sure that you're not falling off. So if you're a newer coach and you're getting discouraged because you're not getting those yeses as fast as you want them to, please take a step back and understand we are so proud of you. You're doing it, okay? Just keep going. Maybe increase your numbers. We are at the end of the month. Increase those numbers a little bit. Power through. Do not take the foot off the brake, because what you're going to do, and I'm going to use, Lauren Healy as an example. She's sitting at, again, because I keep seeing her in my left box. She's still awake. She should be sleeping. She hit success, and everybody's always like, well, Lauren Healy hit Success Club 50. Lauren Healy hit Success Club 8 in her first month as a coach. Okay? I hit Success Club 6 in my first month as a coach. Barely. I missed Success Club a month in my first year. So understand this, if you're a newer coach on our team, we are so excited for you. And do not compare yourself to what this new coach that signed up on the same day as you is doing, because everybody's race is so different. If you can go to bed at the end of the day and lay your head down and say, man, I did really good today, then that's all I care about. Do the thing, okay? Next thing I'm going to talk about, I'm trying to make this quick because I want to wrap this up. Veteran coach syndrome. The coaches that have been missing Success Club every single month and are using that as excuse as why they're going to continue to miss Success Club every single month. Stop it. Stop it. Guys, here's the thing about it. It is so easy to help people. And if you've been in this business for 6, 7, 8 months, you know how to do it. You're just not doing the things. And you kind of have to look at yourself in the mirror and understand, like, I'm just not doing it. So what I'm asking you guys to do tonight is to just take a deep breath and say, okay, I may have missed it before, but things are going to change. If you want this, you must take action. You must be willing to make the change. Because here's the thing, I'm not a hand holder type of coach. Of course, all my new coaches know I hold your hand those first 30 days. I'm like, girl, like, let's go to the bathroom together. That's just how we are in our first 30 days. But after your first 30 days, like, I let you fly. I'm not going to sit across your shoulder and ask you why you're not hitting Success Club. Because the coaches that I believe that truly want this will just naturally do it. And just like all these girls said, it has to happen. We can't miss it. And here's the last thing I'm going to say about veteran coach syndrome. Don't you ever ask one of your coaches to hit Success Club if you are not hitting it yourself. Okay? Don't ever ask your coaches to be on a team call if you're not showing your face. That's something that we have to understand here. Don't ever ask your coach out there to go send 100 invites when you're sitting there eating Twinkies on the couch and doing nothing. Don't ever tell your coach to commit 100% to a program if you're quitting every 21 days, if you're quitting every 20 days. They watch you, guys. They're watching you like a hawk. And I'm telling you what, if I was not inviting, if I was not committing to a program, if I was not doing any of this stuff, my coaches wouldn't be doing it either. But why do you think that my team has really high Success Club numbers and has people at the end of the month freaking the hell out because they're not in Success Club? It's because of me. It's because I'm freaking out at the end of the month where I'm like, I gotta hit higher. And they see that and they want that. So you have to lead by example. Veteran coach syndrome. If you have not hit Success Club up to this point, make the decision today that stops now. I don't care if there's only 6 days left in the month. It stops now. And the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is the popsicle lady. And that my team, you've heard this story, but I'm going to say it again. I'm going to make it nice and quick. I was at the elite reception in Mexico. I brought my sister. I was so honored to be there and to represent my incredible 2-time elite team. It was the most unbelievable experience. And I was telling my sister as I was walking around, we were just having this discussion about how sad I was that I couldn't just take all my team and make them be there with me because they helped us do that. I don't believe that I should be getting the recognition for what my team has achieved. And we were in this long, deep conversation, and I look over to the right and I see this lady with a popsicle stand. Like, not even joking, like a straight up popsicle stand. And she goes, popsicle? And I'm like, no thanks. And I kept walking. And I just kept doing my thing. And then I sat down with my sister. We're still talking. And all of a sudden I hear her walk by with the cart and goes, popsicle? And I'm like, no, I don't want a popsicle. Like, stop it, Walks around again. Popsicle? Nothing. Walks around again. I'm not joking. This lady walked around every single time she passed me, the entire time we were at this elite reception, and she said popsicle, the word popsicle. By the time she popped by that 7th time, I was like, okay, fine, I'll have a cherry one. Because that's all I kept thinking about was that popsicle. And I always look for lessons. And guys, we are coaches. Look for a lesson in every single thing. Look for the things that your kids are saying, the things that your employees are saying, all these things like that. I learned a lesson from Popsicle Lady that night. It took her that many times to get me to say yes. She kept asking every single time I told her no. She made her laugh every single time. I saw her out of the corner of my eye, and I kept telling her no, but she kept asking me anyway. And the last little lap that she made around me, I said yes. So don't you ever think you guys have to stop asking somebody the moment they tell you no. Because I'm telling you what, you might think you're being annoying, you might think you're being repetitive, but it takes somebody between 7 and 8 times to hear or see something to actually comprehend it. So you might think, I made that post already, Kelsey. I already made that challenge group post. How many people saw it? This many people. If you go through any top coach's social media posts, you will see that every single post that comes out has something about how somebody can join them in every post, because it's constant. So that's what I wanted to keep this. That's what I want to wrap mine up with is, one, no one is lucky in this business. They are working hard. If you see somebody successful, they were not handed that by any means. Okay. So please don't ever think that. Number 2, new coaches, you're doing it. Just double it right now, push for the end of the month. And don't you ever go to bed discouraged because you're not moving as fast as somebody else is. Please don't. Veteran coaches, change it. Change the attitude, change the mentality. It's time. It is time to go after what you want. And it's never too late to restart. Okay. It's never too late to restart. You just start over again. And last thing, every time that somebody tells you no, think about my popsicle lady. She was adorable. She was like 4'7", and she just walked around with this popsicle cart and kept asking me, and the popsicles were delicious. Think about her, how she never stopped smiling and how she kept showing up and asking me every single time if I wanted that popsicle. That is how you're going to be successful, and that is how you're going to hit Success Club. So for those of you that are not aware, we have a diamond retreat that's in Florida in September. If you might not even know what diamond means right now, but I need you to understand that Success Club is a non-negotiable for this retreat, and we are not changing our minds on that. And we've had this discussion. We're sticking to those guns. We are not changing our minds. Because we are in the business. People come in, every single one of you say you want to help people, right? What's your why? I want to help people. Help people. That's what this is about. So it starts with Success Club. And then once the diamond and all that stuff, that's going to naturally happen. We're going to mentor you to get there. But right now, let's focus on step 1. Let's not look 7 steps into the future. Let's focus on step 1. And that is in the last 5 days. I know we went over 5 minutes. I apologize for that. But guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We hope this was helpful. Let's get to work.
Boom. That's why we let Kelsey in. Future, well, she was a news reporter too. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for coming. We hope that it was helpful, and we'll get this recording up ASAP. So much love.